we have in the house Mr. Bernard Kalu, and he will be talking on street photography and urban narratives. Ladies and gentlemen, warmly welcome Bernard Kalu. Please keep clapping. We know the drill. We know the drill. Thank you.
Bernard Kalu is a Lagos, Nigeria born visual artist who uses photography to explore life and humanity, aiming to tell and preserve stories. Starting in 2014, he has worked in street documentary and wedding photography. He is a certified Canon Miraisha Master Storyteller, a 7 Academy Foundry alumni, and was the first runner-up in the 2017 Nat Geo Portfolio Review. He was also a nominee for the World Press Photo 6x6 Global Talent 2020. Bernard is an official Fujifilm Global X photographer and has worked on assignments for organizations including The Lancet, Bloomberg, and IFAD. He is a member of Diversify Photo and the African Photojournalism Database, APJD. He also convenes a Cheta, a platform for mentoring visual storytellers. His work has been exhibited locally and internationally since 2017. Let us make welcome Bernard Kalu.
Good afternoon, everybody. I was going to take the pose of Daddy Gio when we were reading that thing, but I didn't want to be too dramatic. I'm so honored to be here. I was supposed to talk about street photography and narrative, but like Kali, I switched to my topic even before I came. First, I would like to say I'm so honored to be here. Benin is home. Benin is family. My family members are plenty. That's one of our Ogawale is one of our ancestors. I'm so honored to be associated with him. It's been such a journey. It's been such a journey. I normally I'm nervous when I have to talk, but because it's family meeting, I should be more relaxed. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, please. What's your name, sir? Praise. When you were talking, I was so inspired because he kept referring to other things, connecting what he learned from the session to other things he had seen. You know, the good book says deep collect onto deep. So what he was doing was drawing out from what he had heard before. So it's so inspiring. Um, my topic would be expand the frame. A journey from self to world anchored in authenticity. So my name is Bernard Kalu. A photographer. I was born in Lagos. I've always lived in Lagos until just I still live in Lagos. Let's not go there. So I'm married. I bring you greetings from my lovely wife, Jennifer Uchendu, and my beautiful son, Zane. I miss them and they share their love. So what do I point here or here? Am I the one controlling it? Okay. So, who I am is very interesting. I like to introduce myself as a primarily as a child of God. Everything is very connected to that identity for me. Like there's no in him I live, in him I move, in him I have my being. So that's where I start from. That's my beginning. And there's a verse of the scripture that maybe is the soft music this man started with before I came in. That's what's giving me pastor vibe. I felt like I should just lead worship. So there's a scripture. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 13:13. Who knows what is in 1 Corinthians 13:13? Maybe I'll have 5K to give. 1 Corinthians 13:13. Don't Google. I caught you. Nobody knows it. Oh. You've Googled it, what is there? And now abideth faith, hope, charity. These three, But the greatest of these is charity, is love, is charity. And I'm a very big believer that everything that we do as beings in this world should have its root in love, because it's the only thing that can outlive life. Because that's what the scripture says. It says the great of these three is love, it's charity. And there's one African saying that says charity begins at home. Have you heard it before? So these things will form the things that we'll share this afternoon. Yeah? So when you think about the term expand the frame, it gives this idea of like expansion, like going outside, like being, this thing they used to say we're outside, like being out there. But nothing, nothing starts from the top. It's only graves that are built from the top. Yeah? Anything that doesn't start from the bottom would not last. Do you understand? When you're trying to build a building, you build from foundation upwards. It's only graves that you start building from top downwards. You get, so if you think, or if you have the mind to, like, if you want to build something that would last, if you want to build something that outlasts, how Kalu was talking, he talked about how success to him as he has started getting older, he thinks about what will be the report after he leaves. He's thinking about after now. So if you have that same idea as a creator, as a creative, to build something that would outlast you, you need to think about it from foundation down upwards. Yeah. So when we talk about foundation in this regard is your core beliefs, values, authenticity. Without a solid foundation, any outward expansion becomes unstable. So I do a lot of street photography. I feel like I'm primarily a street photographer before every other thing. And I was doing it, the way I started street photography was not, I didn't know that I was doing street photography. I didn't see maybe online, I saw street photography, I said, oh, I want to do street photography. I started doing street photography out of situation. So I had finished school. I told my parents told my mom I was going to be a photographer, and like every other parent, they're like, "You said?" I mean, after we spent money on you, you went to do computer engineering in school, and it didn't even help that when I did my IT fourth year, I did IT in NLNG, like Bonny Island. So they were already mapping my life for me that after you go back and do final year, you go back to Bonny. You know that whole vibe. And this guy now finishes and says he's doing photography. Is it your village people? So, but how I decided to do photography it's a different conversation. But I started doing photography, and I got back to Lagos that time, and I was connecting with colleagues, with friends. I was second shooting for them. But if you know how, then the only thing, even now it's still a problem. It's always events, weddings, or portraits. So it was usually mostly events. I didn't really care about portraits that much. So I was second shooting. And when you second shooting or when you work with photographers, you only get to work on Saturdays. The rest of your week, you're you're really free, you get. So, and I didn't really have anything I was doing. So I was just consuming, I was always online, looking at people's posts and all. And I didn't know that I was literally just opening up myself to imposter syndrome. There was imposter syndrome. I was just literally judging my life with what I was seeing online. You understand? So I had bouts of anxiety. I don't want to admit that I was depressed, but we're going to that bus stop. You get. So I legit was literally, my life was literally closing up before me. And in that same time, God being so faithful led somebody to my way. One guy, he just reached out and said, I see that you like to take pictures with your phone. That he has a camera that he wants to sell to me. One very nice guy, Ace Photography, is in Abuja. He sold me an XE1, Fujifilm XE1. And that camera changed the trajectory for me. That's why I'm very sentimental with Fujifilm. Sorry that it's still brand. I'm still talking about it, but it's what it is. Yeah. So, so that camera literally changed things for me because what I started doing was this. How it changed the situation for me was I got this camera when like that weekdays, those days that I had nothing doing, I would literally just carry my camera and walk the streets, talk to people, take pictures randomly. So I was literally taking pictures to save my life. You get? I was I was snapping myself out of it. You know how you say snap out of it? I was snapping pictures out of the doom that was trying to come at me, and that's how I started. I tried. We lived in one estate there, so I would go out. Then birds were now plenty. Human beings were not pursuing them again now. So I was taking pictures of birds, trees. I was taking a lot of self portraits as well. But it was until 2020 I dug deep into why I even like before my when you ask me why do you do street photography, my response is always like, oh, I tell you this story about how I was trying to deal with bouts of anxiety and depression and all. But it was until 2020 I dug deeper than that surface answer. We'll get to the answer I got. So what I'm trying to say is that as creators, you need to self-awareness is key. I know we are trying to make money. The barrier to photography is as expensive as a camera. Yeah, you get a camera, you're a photographer. Is that true? Then maybe you need data for YouTube. You learn one or two things. Then you start editing. But it has to be more than that for you. Something Jumoke Sonwo told me once. She said, someone had asked a question about my work. The person wanted to buy my work. And the person was saying, oh, what if I buy you out? Like, I buy your whole collection. Will you like it? That kind of thing. And Jumoke Sonwo asked me, said, do you plan to do this for the long run, or are you a one-hit wonder? And my hope is that there are no one-hit wonders in this house. The plan is to do this for the long run, yeah? Okay, so you start from the home. You have to do the difficult question, self-awareness. Ask questions. I like what Kalu said in his talk when he talked about you ask what are your ideal kind of clients, what is it? But beyond the client, you're asking yourself these questions. You're asking, okay, why photography? And with photography, awesome that the question came up. What would success mean to you? A lot of questions have been, success is this one client liking your pictures, but it has to be deeper than outside. First of all, as a person, what does success mean to you? Success to me is what one of a man I respect so much defines success as. He says success is blessing the world with the investment of your own personality. You get? So success has to have a personal meaning to you. We'll get there. Up, Nepa. So after you deal with the foundation, you know when you look at the house, then there's the walls. And these walls are personal boundaries, comfort zones. Push these walls outward while maintaining structural integrity. How many of us did civil engineering? Yeah, it's your lingua, yeah? Now, after you do the hard work of asking yourself the questions, doing that whole thing, then it now goes further. That's where, how do you push the walls? It's by learning. Like, not just learning. There are too many technical photographers. You know ISO, you know ZZZ, you know all these things. But many of us don't read books. We don't, when you go on YouTube, when we see your YouTube is either, I don't want to call artist name before they say I'm judging them, but watch documentaries, things that would expound your mind, not just, yeah? Am I sounding too... Yeah, so thank you. Then after the walls, then you have the window. The window is your current perspective. It's limited. It's always limited. Nobody has the complete... Your perspective is always growing. It's limited, but it's comfortable. Expounding that perspective means stepping outside while knowing that you can return home. All these things will still make sense as we go. Now, the first act, we talked about home. Tending the earth is literally doing a lot of the things I explained earlier, doing the hard work of walking inside you. Before authentically engaging the world, we must know the world within. The phrase again, charity begins at home. The photography connection, self-portraiture isn't just literal selfies. It's honest reflection in your work. What is the closest up frame you've ever shot? The answer to that is the frame of your heart and mind. Now, when I started my first, the Nat Geo portfolio review we did. Remember I said that I was already doing a lot of pictures of the street, so they asked us to submit like a portfolio. And then I thought, oh nice, I just took a lot of the genge pictures I thought I had, put them together, submitted, and it went far, and I was first runner up. But the person that won it had a proper body of work. And the work that won it was something, the person was a student at that time. His name is Obayomi Anthony. You can look him up, great guy. He had, the name of that project was Squatters. Squatters was a project about the situation of students that squat in campus. He at the time was a student of Unilag, and apparently they had such a situation where you have someone that owns the room, you have a squatter, then you have someone squatting with the squatter. Then another person squatting with the squatter that is squatting with the squatter. It was a problem. And obviously that project will win. But why it won was not just because, it's strong, but it was his own personal connection to the work. You can't, anything that blows without, it's only bombs that blows and blows out. You don't want to blow that kind of blow. You don't want a situation where I know we're talking about virality yesterday and how, a lot of us, you just want to be out there. But if you blow without keeping your foundation, you would disappear. You won't exist anymore. There's a YouTuber that always does this thing where he says, do you remember? Who knows that guy? Don't make me feel like it's only me that watch. Who knows that guy? Lucky would do. Do you remember? You don't want to be a do you remember? You get, it's not in a way to slide them, but I'm just trying to say, you that you're here, you have the opportunity to dig deeper than just surface work. Yeah? So, this was a picture doesn't matter, but I started doing a lot of self-portrait work. This one was shot maybe 2017 or 2016, but I noticed that the more I spend time to actually have conversations with myself, the deeper my work gets to me. The deeper I'm able to understand other things outside myself. And let me even gist you something. A lot of the works that we see outside, maybe on WordPress or Magnum and all, those things are local stories. Do you understand? Like, the work that you think is, I wish my work can be, that work that is global, that is international, is somebody's local story. So if you keep trying to, I just want to tell their own story, you're missing something, because you are literally neglecting your own passport to that same stage. So if you spend time to do that work of trying to do, you would see even your surrounding different. You're able to analyze things better because charity started at home. Yeah? Yeah, man, your faces are like, what's this guy talking about? Okay, so compare two images, one technically perfect but emotionless, versus one imperfect but infused with the genuine self, the authentic lens. Now we're in a world where everybody's doing, what's that thing, editing they call? That thing they're doing, post-production. Eh? There's a word for it, something pass. Is it hyper? I don't know those things, but maybe one day I'll know it. Like, people are looking for, how many spots have you removed? It's nice to know those things. Always, any opportunity you have to build your technical skills, take it. But know that story is deeper than high frequency separation. Yeah? I know that you have clients now that want it, but there's also a place of actually teaching your market. Yeah? Stories are deeper than high pass. There's something I like to do, it's called Day in the Life. Because I have a baby now, I know how, before I had a baby, I had great love for it, but now my love has. Because babies grow like as if they're eating for the life. The baby that season now go. Like he's like you challenging me now, like saying no. I'm like, no, it's not you that we gave birth to yesterday. So because but I take pictures, I do like the appreciation for it has literally skyrocketed. So you can actually offer that to your clients. You mustn't always depend on high pass. Because there's value in authenticity. This picture has a lot of dirt in the mirrors and all, but I know what this picture means to me. I know where I was in my life when I took this portrait. So anytime I see this portrait, it takes me somewhere. Like there's a connection to it beyond high pass. I'm not dissing portrait photographers, so please don't wait for me outside. So now the second act is opening the door. After you've done, not after. Remember, these things are not necessarily linear. It's not that, you do this one, the next one, you do this one. Sometimes you might even start from third one forward. Like life is not necessarily, things can, whenever you wake up is your morning, Abi. So you can, but it has to be done at some point. So opening the door is now, beyond the questioning self, you're now looking through the window. You're not looking at things outside, expounding outside to things that connect with you. Do you understand? This picture is a picture that was taken during it was a protest in Port Harcourt. Who knows Port Harcourt here, River State? The time they had this black suit issue. They still have it sometimes, but it's not as bad as it was back in 2018. Who knows that black suit issue? Yeah. Do we all live in Nigeria? I ask question, it's just two people that who knows Port Harcourt here? Thank you. Do you want to stand up? Are you sure you don't stand? Do you want to stand up? Are we tired? Please stand up. I have the mic, I can say anything I want. Just stand up for just stretch. 10 seconds. I know it's almost lunch or break time, but let's just give me some attention. Because attention is the price of what? Attention is the price of creativity. Do you know?
Somebody took a risk, and I don't want to be in that risk. She's supposed to have a project defense, but for her work, she believes it's important to her. She took permission from her course advisor, and she wants to read a poem and go back. So for her sacrifice, I think she deserves to be heard. So we are all going to stand with Grace, and she's going to read her writing for us. She's one of the finalists, our first writer from the open calls we've had, and her work deserves to be heard. So please, we all remain standing. She will read, and we'll give her a round of applause and excuse her to go back and succeed and come back and continue our visual storytelling. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, so my poem is titled Echoes in the Scroll, a spoken word reflection. The world used to hum slowly. Now everything vibrates at the speed of forgetting. Silence was once sacred, a place we found ourselves. Now even God must compete with our notifications. Stories used to touch the ground before the heart. Now they float light, pretty, gone by morning. We've mistaken light for warmth, brightness for belonging. My grandmother's hand smelt of pepper and stories. Every wrinkle was a chapter. I miss the holiness of slow things, letters, morning rain, understanding. The internet made the world a village, but every villager now eats alone. We used to gather to listen. Now we gather to speak and no one hears. I don't fear forgetting facts. I fear forgetting how to feel. Handwriting had fingerprints. Now depth needs translation. 1,000 eyes can watch your pain online, and still no one will hold your hand. We confuse expression for connection. The page never glows, yet it burns deeper than any screen. Before Wi-Fi, we had wonder, and that connection never broke. Remember the warmth of presence, the weight of a hand in yours, the quiet knowing you are not alone. Remember when stories were touched, they were read slowly until the room breathed with you. Community was a rhythm, not a place. Wholeness lived in the sharing. Language was sacred. Every proverb, a prayer. Every name, a prophecy. Work was worship. We created with reverence, not rush. The earth was alive, is alive, has silence, instruction. Laughter was resistance, joy, survival. Remember the elders. Their pauses were lessons, their stories, maps. Water listens, patience is power. All sacred things move slowly, like healing, like dawn. Words build words, hold them gently, like children, like truth. Remember love, the quiet kind that chooses you without any urgency. Remember your name, what it promised to the world. I think the soul grows quieter every time we scroll past truth. There's something holy about reading. It demands what the words no longer give. Patience. The dust on an old shelf has more memory than a trending sound. And above all, remember that memory is holy. A way of saying, I am still human. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're all supposed to just go home after this thing because it's so complete. Like it's literally the gospel of what this conference is supposed to be about in words. Thank you so much. Please. All right. Thank you so much, Grace. Huh? What's the surname? A pointing here, Grace. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll look for those words. You have them, maybe? Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we can sit down now. So I believe you're up now, yeah? So it's beyond just like it's you showing the world through your own lens, not the lens in the camera, your own perception. So this came up. My wife is someone that she's so passionate about the environment. Always WhatsApp people, they're in the same WhatsApp group. And I mean, I knew about the environment before we met, but I was more about Maranatha. Jesus should just come, let's live here. But she was like, why we're still here? We need to, the world is burning, da 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 da. I'm like, take it easy now, it's not that. But she really, she drove it in, and someone saw my stock. I'm like, okay, this thing makes sense. Like, why are we letting people do this to us? So, first, what happened was, near where we lived, Jota, Olusoshun landfill, one day we're just in the house, and we started seeing smoke, come out of there. And because me that I've been looking for war photography to do, and I saw the closest thing to war photography, I'm like, there's fire, let's go. I took my camera and went to Ojota and saw that, it was the landfill that was burning. Went there, apparently they said that it was gases that compounded in the whole thing. So, but the bad thing with that whole bomb was, it wasn't just burning those things. The smoke was entering into people's homes. Their schools literally around that landfill. So for a whole week, students had to be coming to classes. you go home, your whole clothes will literally be smelling smoke. When it's not like you enter the Richard Rock Mission kind of vehicle. So it was bad. So I did those pictures, and my first, not necessarily my first, but one of my very primary publication was through that work. It was Lancet. I don't know if you know Lancet. You know Lancet. So Lancet, they reached out and I published the work there. So the natural progression from there was, when they now said there was another smoke in, I'm like, I'm not a smoke detector. Let's go there. So I went to River State and went to Port Harcourt, did the whole ask questions, research, took pictures. And this was one of the pictures. So the whole thing started from inward, then I got interested in a subject matter, thanks to the woman in my life. You get? So my world started expanding. I started expanding the frame beyond. Is it making sense? Thank you. I try. Let's go to the next one. Then the next one is building the neighborhood. I said success to me is impacting the world with the investment of your personality and all. In concise terms, it's just blessing the next person close to you. You get? Like, I've enjoyed so many blessings that I can't count. And these blessings it didn't just drop from heaven. It came from men. You understand? So YouTube being a channel to it is a good thing. There's something to say about channels, how the channel that water is going through will never, what's that word? There's no channel that's constantly producing water that will be dry. Yeah? So, first off, you start with yourself, then you move to personal projects. Etiosa talked about personal projects. That whole journey to self leads to opening this thing, then you get things you're interested in. The personal project I thought I was doing was what later publications called me for. So as a storyteller, whether you're even shooting portraits, you need to have personal projects. We all know Big H here. Big H is such an accomplished photographer, but he has personal projects he's doing. As a portrait photographer, he has something called Windows Series, I think, where literally he meets people, have conversation, and take their pictures. Like, it's the best thing you can do for your career. Your work, your greatness as a storyteller is, now where this capitalism is capitalizing, is where numbers are what people. Your greatness as a true storyteller is not by your paid work. It's by your personal stories, your personal projects. That's something you should have at the back of your mind. You can be earning jillions now, because billion is not small. Let's do jillions. But if you're not doing the work of doing personal stories, it dries up at some point. So, authentic self is the foundation. Personal stories, the next ladder. Community connection. Basically, everybody has been saying the same thing in different lingua. This chart is very, very similar to what the things Kalu shared, because it's so important. Repetition is the law of deep and lasting impression. When something is important, you keep hammering on it. Yeah? Repetition is the law of deep and lasting impression. When something is important, you keep hammering on it. Community is so key. Then you now blow. Global impact. You now blow like Etiosa, for instance. Yeah? Makes sense? So, warning. An expounded frame without an authentic self is just a tourist snapshot. An expounded frame anchored in self, it's a meaningful statement. Who knows what tourist shot is like? It's still a picture. That same picture in the hand of somebody that is not a tourist. The person will have a meaning for the picture. You're not just taking random pictures. But what gives meaning is when you already have found meaning in yourself. Does it make sense? Basically, all I'm trying to say in simple terms is do the journey inwards. And we live in a society where, I talked about how social media has literally almost drove me over the bar because I was looking at, my classmates, people I did IT with, they are now driving Lambo. Me, I didn't have bicycle. You get? But every good thing, every worthy structure starts from down up. So you need to do that hard work. Yeah? And you don't have to wait till you blow till you do it. You do it now. Like the foundation starts in the beginning. When you're building, you build from foundation. You don't have to, this guy's talking because, see, that picture itself is nice. The picture of the 2017 that I have is a nice picture. I wish I put, there are some pictures I've put and you'll be like, nah, it's not possible. Yeah? Define what success means to you. I lost my train of thought. There was something I was going to say. I said we live in a world where social media is not helping things. Like, oh, you're